Hey guys, mtg Noob here, bringing you a Grixis deck tech. This is an updated list. I actually took this list from a daily event. Give a shout out to the player who created it, E-M-E-N-G, I guess it's Emeng. So first let's go over the mana base. You are essentially playing every color under the rainbow for various reasons. Uh, First, the lands that allow you to play every color are your 3 Shimmering Grottos. The deck's playing 26 lands, which is about right for a control deck. It's got 4 Darkslick Shores, 4 Black Cleave Cliffs, 1 Dragon Skull Summit, 1 Copperline Gorge, 4 Sulphur Falls, Drowned Catacombs, 3 Island, 1 Swamp, 3 Mountain, and finally 1 Lighthouse. Now, a lot of your lands do come into play tapped, and playing your lands is probably the most important part of this deck, since you do have things in the main deck that cost double black and double red. Okay, so the blue is most used for your card draw, so you have 1 Think Twice, 2 Forbidden Alchemy, okay, and then you have a Phantasmal Image, which will definitely help you against things that have hexproof, or just copying the Grave Titan if you really want to go greedy and finish them off. Then you have some counter in blue in your 3 mana leaks. And you have a bunch of blue creatures, 2 that are traditional in Snapcaster Mage, which is just very solid overall, and pretty newcomer to standard Fettergeist. In a control deck, he's actually very good because he just sits there and blocks Delver without a sword, obviously, all day long. And he does have protection from essentially everything with a sword on it, because most of the swords are pro-black, pro-green, pro-red, and pro-white, and nobody really plays the Sword of Body and Mind, giving it pro-blue. So he's been an all-star so far in the deck, in my opinion. Okay, then let's talk about colorless stuff in the deck. You have Accelerator in Pristine Talisman, which costs 3 and gains you a life, which is also doubling as good against aggro. And you have the big badass in Coin Liberated, which eventually just shuts down the game if you stick them. And then let's talk about your red, which is in the deck just to get rid of stuff and some more card draw. You have 2 Pillar of Flame, which are very good against things that come back, Stranglewood guys, pretty much the whole zombies list. Okay, then you have some Sweepers and 1 Whip Flare and 2 Slag Storms. They're both pretty good. I think this is the correct number. If you feel your metagame is very aggro, then you probably want the 2 Whip Flares. But remember, Slag Storm goes to the head from time to time. And you have 4 of Desperate Raving for some extra card draw. The discarding cards at random sometimes will hurt you, but most of the time you'll be fine. And finally, you have 1 of Red Zenith, kind of like a better version of Pillar of Flames if you want to get rid of stuff like that. It has a bigger butt that would come back. Okay, finally the black is pretty much for removal and endgame. You have 2 Doomblades, 1 Go for the Throat. I think the split is correct because Doomblade takes care of things like Wormclaw engines and other things that are artifacts, where Go for the Throat takes care of other opposing black creatures. And you have 2 Lilianas, which are very good and help you get ahead. If you can protect her with all the sweepers, I say you make sure you try to have a clear board before you drop her, because if not, she's really just going to get picked off by a token or something like that. And finally, your finisher of choice is 2 of Grave Titan, which pretty much will end the game in 2 turns if unanswered. Okay, let's look at the sideboard. Obviously, you have a Pillar for aggro decks, things that are hard to get rid of. You have a Despise for Planeswalkers, and hard to deal with creatures like ones like Geist that have Hexproof or Thrawn or things of that nature. And you have, oh, I'm sorry, the main deck I missed the one of Ancient Grudge, which is really good. I like it because it kind of deals with pod and swords. And in the board you get an additional Ancient Grudge. So essentially that's why you have the green mana base in the Copper Morning Gorge and the 4 Shimmering Grottos. Then you have an additional Doomblade, a negate for counter wars, Ray of Revelation in case they have a tricky enchantment or something that is going to be really annoying. That's why you have white in the deck in the form of the Grottos. Phantasmal Image for hexproof guys. Dissipate for more counter magic. Batterskull for aggro decks. Curse for aggro decks. mtgo for control mirrors and things where you think you could get ahead and stall out the board. Lone Reverend, I don't know what he really comes in against. I'm assuming other decks that would have trouble dealing with hexproof. I think he's actually good in the control mirror because, you know, he basically gives you a way to dig deep into your deck, 4 cards deep, and you can essentially outrace people like that by going through the top 4 cards and taking the best one. Consecrated Sphinx for opportunities where Grave Titan won't really finish it, and essentially the mirror as well, where you want to block flyers and draw cards if you feel it's quick enough. I don't think it's quick enough against Delver, but now that they're going more mid-range, it might be. Black Sun Zenith for aggro, and Devil's Play just as another way to go to the head or deal with tons of creatures. The triple red flashback is a little bit difficult at times, so keep that in mind. Okay, as always, thanks for watching. Please check out my other videos. Tell all your Magic friends, and most importantly, please subscribe.